Do you talk to yourself? Have you found yourself screaming at the TV? Have you been groaning as you scroll through social media? Now, I'm convinced it's a good thing to talk to ourselves. I don't mean when you go upstairs and you say, oh, what did I come upstairs for? I'm not talking about mindlessly repeating positive platitudes to ourselves. I'm talking about taking rock solid truth and declaring that to ourselves. Now, as Christians, we believe the Bible is the source of that rock solid truth. And the Bible tells us to talk to ourselves, or to put it another way, it tells us to remember. Psalm 105 verse 5 says, "Remember the wonders he has done." It's an encouragement to remember. To remember God has saved his people in the past. And that's what most of the rest of the song is about. The psalmist, as he sings, he remembers that God has saved in the past. Now, this psalm is written down so that we can read it and we can remember. We can remember that God has saved his people in the past. Now, here's the thing. All those times that God saved before, well, they point to God's most wonderful saving act. When God sent Jesus to die on the cross instead of us. He died to take away our sin and the death that we deserve. We remember that God saves because God remembers his promise to save. Verse 8 of the same psalm says, "He remembers his covenant forever, the promise he made for 1,000 generations." When God says something, he does it. He always keeps his promises. We can be sure of that. The psalmist doesn't just remember as he sings. He writes it down. He verbalizes it. So let's talk to ourselves. Let's talk to ourselves about the good stuff. Let's remember the gospel, the good news of God's saving. Take the words of the Bible and speak them to yourself and speak them to those around you. Now, if you don't know where to start with reading the Bible, then get in touch with us. We'd love to point you in the right direction. Talk to yourself.